good morning everyone. We're going to make a start. Welcome to King's. I'm Amy Webb, I'm Head of Alumni Relations here. I recognise quite a few faces, also quite a few new faces as well. So if this is your first time at King's here on the Strand campus, I definitely recommend you have a bit of an explore in any breaks. Just through those doors there and past the quad we have Somerset House, which is obviously quite an iconic building, and also where our law school's based. And just above us as well we have a beautiful chapel and a really lovely example of Victorian architecture. So welcome, and do make this your home for the day. Before I hand over to David and to Marie, I just wanted to say a bit about mentoring at King's and the journey that we've taken. When I started in the alumni team about 4 years ago as alumni volunteer coordinator, it was the first time that we had a role that really focused on volunteering. And I remember very early on, probably first week knowing me, saying to my manager, you know, I really want to do a mentoring program, and she was obviously very supportive. And I started to kind of look across at the sector, and there really wasn't many of us focusing on volunteering, and there weren't that many mentoring programs either. So I really looked kind of outside of the sector for those ideas. So it's so exciting to see that it has become such a big part of alumni engagement now. And for us at King's, it really is a cornerstone in our engagement strategy, both here in the UK and internationally as well. So the first year that I ran the programme, I think we had 50 mentors and 50 mentees, which was a huge achievement for us at the time. But, you know, it really has grown so much, especially under Maria's direction. I think we now have over 1,000 members based in over 26 countries. We recently just got back from the US where we did some mentoring events, and we're going to be in Southeast Asia in a few weeks doing mentoring events as well. So it is something very important for us at King's. It's something the principal talks about a lot, so something we're really passionate about. So I'm so pleased that we're all here together and here to discuss it. So I will now hand over to Daniel, who will kind of speak more about the day. I can't take any credit for today whatsoever. It has all been Illuminati, and I know Maria's had an input as well. So I hope that you enjoy it, and I hope that you get a lot out of today. Thank you.
So I'll just give you a quick intro to the day and what we're trying to achieve here. This originally started off actually as a concept for a few of the people who work with Illuminati to get together to share some best practice. The idea of getting maybe 10, 12, 15 people in a room around a table to just talk about a few topics that are challenging them about their mentoring programs. This, as you can see, has sort of expanded to what we have today, which is fantastic. It's actually been really great to see the response that we've had to this event. What we're trying to do here is create an event that is both informative in terms of the speakers who have been there and done that, but also critically in the afternoon session, we really want to get that original intent of this roundtable discussion going. So we've actually got a reasonable amount of time allocated to actually sharing and extracting the little nuggets of experience and genius that you have in your heads, within roundtables, but then also to the room. So I'll sort of chair that part of the session, and I'm hoping that actually you'll all be very enthusiastic and sharing with your own experience. So the general format of the day will be speakers in the morning. We'll have a few breaks, and in the afternoon we'll have you all assigned to tables. So if you look at your badge, on the front or back of it, there is a little colored spot. We have created a very sophisticated top secret algorithm to assign you all to tables. I'm not sharing how we do it because it's a top secret, but please do come back with your lunch to the tables. Your tables will be marked up with the colors that you'll be sitting with. It's obviously time to get to know your table over lunch, and then we'll be discussing within those tables afterwards. Okay, it is with great pleasure that I get to introduce our first speaker, who will be setting the note for the day. She is someone who I've come to know very well over these 6 years. I do count her now as a friend, and she's been very instrumental in terms of Illuminati's growth over the years. Carolee has joined CASE So those of you who don't know CASE, I'm sure there's very few of you, it's the Council for the Advancement and Support of Education. It is a worldwide organization with an office in London which manages their European operations. Carolee joined CASE 6 years ago as their head of business development, taking care of their conferences and events and stewarding the likes of Illuminati and many other supporters of the industry. She has recently been appointed the Deputy Director of CASE Europe, and she is now really, or remains to be a key influential figure in shaping the industry through a amazingly comprehensive set of events that run throughout the year, culminating obviously in the CASE annual conference that many of us have been to, and which will be in Manchester, plug, this year. So without further ado, I'd like to invite Carolee to the stage. Please help me welcome her. Carolee, please.
Just a quick review then, a bit more about CASE. I think I looked at the list of everyone who's here. Everyone's a member of CASE. It's a global professional membership association for individuals like yourselves who work in alumni relations, fundraising, marketing and communications, what we term educational advancement. We do have nearly every university across the UK and a lot of universities across continental Europe, as well as schools, independent schools, international schools, a few state schools and academies, and arts and cultural organizations as well. And we really do enable you to do your jobs better and to advance your institutions. As a global organization, our headquarters is in Washington, DC. We have the office in London serving continental Europe, and which includes the UK. I'm an American, but I do know that the UK is part of Europe, but I do often hear my colleagues around the world separate us, but yeah, we do serve professionals across Europe. A little tangent there. We have an office in Singapore serving the Asia-Pacific region, and an office in Mexico City serving the Latin American region as well. And we are here to allow you to develop yourselves professionally, as well as develop your institutions, and we provide advocacy on behalf of your profession. CASE Europe has recently launched a new strategic plan, and part of that strategic plan is to develop and enhance the membership services that we do provide to all of you. And we're focusing particularly on our resources. We do run many events, and we do our events well, our training seminars, our events, our conferences. We run about 50 per year. But we also do recognize that there's a need to grow these member services as well, and to enhance the engagement activities that we provide outside of the training programs and the conferences. So we're focusing on our research services, so data about the profession, as well as benchmarking programs and projects against each other to identify good practice and aspire for better and improved programs. And also, key for today, mentoring program. So we want to develop a mentoring service for members of CASE. A more formal mentoring, we do understand that as a professional organization, this does happen quite naturally. It does happen very organically at the training seminars, at events. It does happen in person. And so it's a vast network. But as a global network, how can we grow that? How can we improve that engagement? And how can we take advantage of being a global network in order to provide mentoring services? So we want to provide that mentoring platform, which will most likely take place online, so that we can deliver those services directly to you as individuals and not just to the institutions overall. We identified this need for our strategic plan for developing your professional capacity through member services, member surveys, and feedback that we've heard over the last 2 years. And the feedback really was a request for these formal mentoring programs. Also, there are sector-wide reports that support this need for mentoring within the profession as well. In April of 2014, Higher Education Funding Council for England issued a report that was developed by the Richmond Associates, the recruitment company, and More Partnerships, the fundraising consultancy. They worked together to research mostly CASE members, but others within the educational advancement sector. And they found that half of the individuals that they surveyed believed that a formal mentoring program was one of the top 3 ways that they could develop personally and professionally. So we've taken this on board, and we're utilizing that recommendation as part of our strategic plan. Now, as I said, there are ways that mentoring takes place already within CASE because we are a network and we do have many opportunities for people to come together in person, and as well as our listservs and our online communities, the Chirologic online community that we have. We know that it happens already. There are special interest groups that form on their own. There are special interest groups that do use the CASE framework in order to meet and to meet their peers and to find others like themselves and to learn from each other. But again, we want to be able to provide something that is more formal and that allows that to take place. Hence the need for the online mentoring. Also, logistically, we want an online mentoring program to deliver services to members of CASE that allow you to communicate anytime, anywhere, and the online mentoring platform seems to be the best way for us to deliver that type of service for CASE members. So what we're looking for in a product is we're looking for something that's very easy to use, that's very intuitive for CASE members, something that CASE and the mentors themselves can have control of. So it's not a lot of formal introduction or formal networking that CASE has to provide, but we can provide the platform to allow the mentors and the mentees to connect and to gather with each other online. Also, value for money. We are a professional membership association, so the cost needs to be something that we consider so that the cost is not prohibitive for members to use the service as well. We're looking for a product that is known to our members, so something that you're familiar with, something that, again, it's very easy to use and it's a bit out of the box, but it's something that you've either used yourselves with your alumni, in this case, or you're familiar with because you know that company, you know the product. So we are looking for something that is familiar to our members. Again, operating globally is really important for us. As a global professional organization, we recognize that you can and you want to connect with peers across the globe. There's a lot of great learning and there's a lot of sharing that can be provided by speaking to peers in Asia Pacific, in Australia, in North America. It does, again, happen organically or happen at events, but we want the system to be able to support a global network because that's the network that CASE has. And again, something that we can find information from. CASE will have some control and some usability with this platform, so the reporting functionality is really important to us. We want to be able to measure the impact and to be able to recognize that it is developing a good service for our members. So where are we at in this process and what's happening next? As a professional association, we are a bit like universities where it does take quite some time to get, we're oil tankers as well. It does take some time to get things passed and to get things through and up and running. So we've been working nearly for the past year to find the platform and to implement it with our global organization. As you can imagine, many of you have global campuses as well. There's just a lot to be considered when you're thinking about databases and names and time frames and time differences and how communication can happen around the globe. So we are dealing with that as well as a professional organization that has 4 offices around the world. We issued a tender back in September or autumn of last year, and we received 4 quality bids that seemed relevant to what we were looking for. So we assessed those 4 against each other, and we have identified two platforms that we are assessing at this time with our 4 offices around the world. So we had hoped by now, and I had hoped today, that we'd be able to announce the platform that we're using, but we're just not there yet. We're a bit at Plan B, which is perhaps to try to announce this and launch it at our annual conference in August. As Daniel provided a very nice plug before, I'll provide a nice plug for you. They're sponsoring the Alumni Relations track, but that'll happen August in Manchester. The 31st of August is the start date. But we hope to be able to launch and announce at least what platform we're using, or that we will have a mentoring platform for CASE members to mentor each other. And we think we'll first work with a pilot group of fundraisers, because the bulk of our members are, about 70% of our engaged members are within the fundraising sector. So we launched a pilot for just a couple of months this autumn of fundraisers using it, and we'll take some learnings and feedbacks from that pilot group to be able to launch it more broadly across CASE, across CASE Europe and across CASE globally. So fingers crossed, by this time next year, we will have a program up and running and a mentoring service for CASE members. And it will allow you to meet with others like you across Europe, others like you around the globe as well. So that's the plan. I hope I don't have to go to a plan C, but mentoring is really important to CASE. It's really important to our members, and it's really important to you and your members, your alumni as well. So I hope that for the rest of today was lots of great learning and great sharing and ideas, and really around the context of the importance of mentoring and what it means to you, and then that we can learn as well what it means to you and enable you to have your own mentoring service.